All right, in this lab, we are going to be looking at Zenmap as our network scanner. As you know, Zenmap is the graphical cousin of Nmap, right? Same idea, except we now have a nice visual version of Nmap. So maybe uh, useful for ease of use for someone who might not be as used to the command line, but a useful tool nonetheless. So we need our two machines here. We have our Kali machine as well as our Metasploitable machine here. My IP address of my machine is 192.168.1.105, right? And my Kali is 1.106. So basically, I want to make sure I have network connectivity to my Metasploitable machine. So I'm pinging that now. All right, that's very good. So we can continue on our Kali machine here. So um, next thing we want to do is we want to open up the Zenmap command here on our Kali Linux machine. So let's go ahead and call that up. So I can do it from the command line. Type in Zenmap and my question mark here, and there you go. Zenmap is now up and running. So next thing we want to do is we want to type in the IP address of our Metasploitable machine. If you can remember, it was 192.168.1.106. Your machine might be different, and that is okay. Now, when it comes to an intent scan, that is a very loud scan, right? That's like an active scan, and beware that you can be discovered if you're trying to do an intent scan on your adversary or on your targets. So now that we have that specified, let's go ahead and click on scan, and let's see what we see. If you look here, we started the Nmap scan and you see it loaded 148 scripts. It's scanning for 100 ports, and let's see if it found anything here. So let's see, ports, output, intent scan. You're not seeing too much here, which is surprising since this is Metasploitable. Let me check my Metasploitable machine, make sure I got the right IP address. Oh, well, that would certainly change things. You got to have the right IP address in here. So scan it again, and here you go. Now we're playing. So we got all these ports open, right? Just like before how we saw with the um, command line version of this, right? Same thing with the GUI, and it's also doing the operating system detection right here, and it's attempting to enumerate what we're seeing here. So let's see if we can get anything here. All right, cool. So we get a lot of good information here. Take a look. Let's go back to the host here. And you see all this stuff that we discovered, right? This intent scan is giving us everything. Since it is loading all of those scripts, right? It's got to go ahead and scan everything. So we had all these ports that are open. And take a look at this right here. We got the FTP port open, right? We saw that one from an earlier lab. We also saw it was running this version of ESFTPD. This time we didn't have to actually specify or get the versioning software. It already did that with the intent scan. See how it has all these little switches here already set up? That's what's really cool. It makes it super quick. It also sees OpenSSH is open, or SSH running on 22, Telnet, SMTP is started on port 25, and it's also saying, hey, is in fact Metasploitable. So it's doing all of that, and it's also doing some enumeration on our Apache web server right here. Looks like it's version 2.2.8. So we got different versions of Samba listed here, different versions of, look at that, Pro FTPD, MySQL, uh, a lot of cool stuff here, but it is certainly identifying this as Metasploitable with the 2.6 kernel. And this is everything that came back from the intent scan. So really cool, really nice, detailed scan here. All right, so this time we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to do UDP scanning as well. So that's everything we did before plus our UDP port. So again, same thing, type in scan, and let's see what we get. This time you see as it's populating, we do see that DNS is showing up because we know DNS is a UDP port on 53. And it's saying, hey, you got about 4.5 minutes remaining here. So what I'm going to do in the interest of time is I'm going to pause and then come back. All right, and as you can see, it took about 15 minutes and 45 seconds, but as you can see, it did get more ports open because we did do the UDP scan as well, and it says that, hey, you know what? We got yeah, port 137 open and also port 2049 is. And if you ever forget what these ports are, you can always go to a tool like grc.com and find out what each one of these ports is. All right. And I believe, oh, the last scale we want to do is the super um, slow comprehensive scans. So let me show you how that one works as well. So basically we go here and this one is super long. So let's go ahead and start this one. And you can see right here, it is starting to scan. You see it's got 285 scripts for scanning. It's going to now start the scan. All right, and again, we are scanning our same Metasploitable um, machine here. And I'll check back with you when the scan is done. We will go over what it found. All right, so the slow and steady scan, it took about 16 minutes for my system to do all the scans on the Metasploitable machine. And as you see now, it is now kicking off the service scan. And it is currently at 11% with about 6.5 minutes remaining. So we'll check back in when this is done. All right, so we are now done with our scan. You see that um, we scan finished. The service is in about 16 minutes, 11 seconds. Looks like I found 250 services running on this one host and got a lot of useful information here again for discovery, research, for enumeration. We got the FTP, OpenSSH running. We get the versions. Look at all this other information that we did not previously get before. But as you see, the slow comprehensive scan, it is definitely comprehensive. And like I said before, real world value, if you're going after your target or your adversary, you would use all this information, you would leverage all of this information to build your report and then go after these services that were exploitable, these services that were vulnerable. And you can see here, you get pages and pages, and you can see how far it's even getting into the web page, right? Because it's HTTP, it is clear text. They're able to discern all this information, do some directory traversal in here. So pretty cool, right? Yeah. So that is the slow and slow scan, and here's the rest of it. You've got your other ports open here, and again, so the useful information here. It also does a little trace route at the end, and it does some OS detection. All right, so that is the end of this lab. So as you can see, Zenmap is a great tool. Add it to your tool belt to continue your cyber journey. See you in the next one. Bye.